Mind that, bro. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Bayou Ballers podcast. We're live. Seemed like we just went live yesterday, bro, but it was Wednesday. But we here to give y'all a special episode before the full NFL weekend kicked off. We both went 0 for 1 last night, the Baltimore Ravens, by just a toenail. But
literally,
some NFL game day picks or game day locks. Trey got 4 teams. I got 4 games. And I have 4 games that we're gonna give y'all. And throughout the season, we're gonna be keeping track of our record in these game day lock picks. So couple things. I want to get to one more thing before we get to the locks too. But before we get to that, how you doing today, brother? It's Friday.
It's Friday, bro. Can't get no better than that.
It's hard for me to hear you.
Oh, you can hold on. You can hear me now?
Not really.
Huh. How about now?
A little bit, but
So I got my volume all the way up. You got me turned up?
Yeah, you're in my headphone. Say something.
What's up?
All right, we can hear you. Go ahead.
All right, cool. Man, it's just Friday, so excited for the weekend. It's gonna be some good football games, both pros and college. Just want to shout out them boys at A&M Commerce. They traveling to Cali, so wishing them a safe return, safe during the game, and safe coming back.
Now, with the weekend coming upon us, none of us picked this game tonight, which is Green Bay in Philly in Brazil. But I guess you say you had some notes for it if you want to let the people know what you have for the game, bro. Is this the first game in Brazil ever?
I think so. I think it is the first one ever.
Okay, so this is something new for the NFL. They chartering in different territories. So what you think of this game and who you think go with it? Even though it's not an official pick.
Yeah, when I was writing notes for the no disrespect but podcast, and what week to week who might win, I just had a really good feeling about Green Bay. I think with them getting Josh Jacobs is going to help their run game a lot. And I think we've seen that Eagles D-line kind of regress over the last couple of years. They weren't as dominant last year as they were during the Super Bowl run, and now you have no Hassan Reddick. I feel like what you have in Jordan Love now. I think Green Bay was trying to figure that out last year. But they got 3 really good wide receivers. And we know what they're going to bring on the defensive end. They're athletic. They know how to get after the quarterback. And they have a really good secondary. So it's going to be a really good matchup. I think it'll be a close game, but it might be one of those. It might be like last night, bro. Like it's going to be like who has the ball last and kind of going down to the wire. So I think you got 2 really good teams that's going to be battling it out.
I definitely think Green Bay will. We're gonna find out with Philly cornerbacks, the 2 got 2 draft picks. Because Green Bay has young wide receivers and they get down the field. Christian Watson is a speedster. Dobbs, he's nice as well. They got a little flurry of receivers over there. So we're gonna see what the Philadelphia Eagles draft picks are built like in the first week of the season. But I expect Philly to win this game. They ended the season poorly last year, got demolished by Tampa Bay, and that says a lot from the NFC south side. But hopefully they get back on track. Devontae Smith got his deal done. They got a new defense coordinator in Vic Fangio, so we'll see how his defense looks with those young corners on the outside now. But we're gonna get into these game day locks. And you want to go game for game, or you want to go all 4 at one time, and then I go all 4, or you want to go game for game?
Let's go game for game.
All right. We can start off. You can go with your first game.
Yeah, so one of the first games I picked were the Vikings versus the Giants.
Okay.
I think you're dealing with 2 quarterbacks that you don't believe much in Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones, but I think a lot has been invested in Daniel Jones, and I think they have a little bit more of an identity than maybe the Minnesota Vikings have offensively. And then I think defensively, got some really good players traded for Brian Burns. So you're hoping with him and Kayvon Thibodeau that pass rush is going to be really good this year.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you don't know what's going to happen with the opposite end with the O line for the Giants, but I think they're going to try to get the ball out of Daniel Jones' hands quick. I expect Malik Neighbors to introduce himself to NFL audiences fairly
Mm-hmm.
early. Because if you can block for Daniel Jones, I think that secondary, who has
It'd
a
be
lot of young
great.
players, much like you mentioned with the Eagles, you can take advantage of that. And so we'll see how it holds up. But I see the Giants kind of winning that by 3 points.
Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad at that pick. The Giants' defensive line could be special this year. You got Dexter Lawrence,
Mm.
Leonard Williams, and like you mentioned, Brian Burns, and Thibodeau. But I'm gonna go to my game, and I'm going with the obvious lock. Thanks over Panthers. That's the easy one I had to get out. When I didn't see it on your list, I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I'll take the easy lock for this
See,
one.
I was trying to be not a non-homer and talk about the
Hey,
other things, but this guy here, he just had to mention the Saints. See, I was
hey,
trying to be good.
this kid, we being competitive. At the end of the season, we go this record go count for something. So I gotta take the easy ones where I can get them.
Uh-huh.
So self-explanatory with this Saints over Panthers. The Panthers are a bad team. I don't expect, like I said, we made our predictions last show.
Mm-hmm.
I don't expect this to be a blowout. Like I said, I think I said something like 24-13,
Something like that. Yeah.
21-16, something like that. So, but I do think the Saints will win. I don't think slim chance that the Panthers pull off an upset.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying the Saints are a super great team, but just the Panthers, I haven't seen where they improved last
Mm-hmm.
year.
Yeah.
They improved minimally at the wide receiver position with Deontay Johnson. So other than that, I don't see too much unless just experience with Bryce
Yeah.
Young, another year on the team chemistry. That's it. So I'm gonna go with the Saints locking
Okay.
that game out.
Well, I say game, man, I had the Jags and the Dolphins. And I ended up going with the Dolphins. I just think they'll turn this into a track meet real fast.
Okay.
And Jacksonville, their best chance in this game is to run the ball. I get it. You have Trevor Lawrence, who you paid a lot of money to. You drafted Brian Thomas Jr. in the first round. You've added a lot of skill players. Please get the ball to Evan Ingram a little bit for fantasy purposes. But other than that, I think it's going to be a little difficult if Miami kind of gets off to a hot start with Tua, Tyreek, and Waddle. And obviously, we know they got a three-headed monster at the running back position. And they just added, who did they just added another speedster to the running back room
Which
that they
team you
drafted?
talking about? Jaguars or Miami?
Miami. So because they had our chain, you had Monster, and then I think they just added somebody else who's known for being a speedster. So
Let me check it
um,
out.
they're gonna turn that into a track meet really, really fast. I do think they have a really good defense. Obviously losing Vic Fangio after
Mhm.
one season. He went off to Philly, but they have the players to really improve. It makes some noise. That defensive line, they're healthier, so I'm expecting them to get after the quarterback a lot more this year. And so hopefully a guy like Jalen Ramsey, who just became the highest paid cornerback in the league again, will be able to capitalize on that and generate some turnovers. And I think they're going to get Trevor Lawrence a couple times, and that's
Mhm.
going to be the difference in this game. And I have them kind of winning big, probably by double digits.
Side note with the Dolphins, do you think Odell Beckham has impact this year? Do you think he can
I
get that
think
third wide receiver spot?
Yes, I think he ends up having an impact late. I would say the difference between his tenure in Miami than what he was with the Ravens. I think he was used more as a decoy in Baltimore, whereas I feel like Mike McDaniels will make it a point to design opportunities for Odell,
Okay.
and I think you're going to be able to see that later in the season because that's what kind of hurts them. Is okay. I'm gonna take away Tyreek. I'm gonna take away Jalen Waddle. They don't have a dominant tight end. So who's that third pass catcher? And so they can be able to design some things for Odell. He can take advantage of some true one-on-one opportunities. So I expect him to have a decent year, a wide receiver 3 year. Like I don't think he's about to have 1,200 yards or something.
Okay. I'm gonna get to my second game. How you doing, baby girl? Help you out. But my second game is another easy one I see. Bengals over Patriots.
Okay. Oh.
I'm sorry, Trey. I'm gonna have to let you take over that again while I call my
Yeah.
dog. Go
Nah,
ahead,
you
bro.
good. Yeah, well, look, we about to start having fans pick some games for us to choose from because you're trying to take the low hanging fruit. So we got to talk about that now. Anyways, you had an NFC South matchup, and I have a matchup with an NFC South team with the Steelers and the Falcons. I picked the Steelers. I know there's some uncertainty about Russell Wilson with his health. I think he had some calf tightness a few days ago, so they don't know if he'll play. But Coach Thomas says he's confident in Justin Fields. And I think they're going to be pretty good. I think you're going to see Arthur Smith kind of getting his little revenge on the Atlanta Falcons a little bit, being able to utilize some of those weapons like a George Pickens, like a Najee Harris. Cordarrelle Patterson, I didn't even know this until a few weeks ago. He followed Arthur Smith to Pittsburgh, and so I believe they're going to utilize him a little bit. And then you have Warren at that running back position as well that's going to be dominant. So I think the Steelers have added some weapons on offense. I think they're much better at the quarterback position. Obviously, an upgrade from Kenny Pickett isn't saying much, but I just think they're a better team offensively. And then defensively, TJ Watt's healthy. I know a lot has been talked about what the Atlanta Falcons are investing, especially on offense, obviously with Kirk Cousins. But he's going to get tested week one to see if he can withstand that pass rush that's coming his way. Because of what is Highsmith and Wyatt. I think they just drafted another guy that's going to be going crazy. Mika Fitzpatrick will be lurking. He's healthy this year. One of the best ball hawks in the league. So there's going to be some opportunities, and we're going to learn a lot about both teams. Then we're going to learn about what type of identity Pittsburgh can have, and if they have a team that can vie for a playoff spot this season again because they made it last year. But also then we're going to learn about the Atlanta Falcons offensively. Like, did they truly make an upgrade, or is it all paper? And so there's going to be a lot of answers, at least week one. And then obviously we have a long season, but I got the Steelers over the Falcons in this one. I think early on that coaching and just players I trust more, to be quite frank with you, that's going to take over, and that's kind of why I went with them.
Now we got the Steelers over the Falcons. Even though I'm dealing with this baby, like I heard the shot thrown at me about the Bengals and Patriots. Now you don't give Jacoby Brissett a chance?
Hell no. He a placeholder, man. He a placeholder.
But I went with the simple pick, bro. Maybe that's why I said maybe I'm gonna go by maybe my sleeper team. Maybe my sleeper team will strike some I'm sorry.
Nah, you good, man. It's just she want to give her picks too. We all family show people, so we enjoy these moments.
Anybody with a kid, you should understand. I'm on dad duty tonight. But hopefully she good now, y'all. She got our mic, she got our headphones. There you go, baby. All right. Now, like what I was saying, Drake May won't be playing for the Patriots. So Jacoby Brissett, Gerard May, I think he wants to play it safe, and I don't think they trust the New England Patriots offensive line.
Yeah.
Because Gerard Mayo said he's been outplaying Jacoby Brissett, but they're not going to play him. The Patriots have no weapons on offense. I can't even name one of their receivers. Like it's bad. So I think the Bengals get off the slow start to the season though. So that's that might be an upset pick for some people, but I take it as a lock. And I think Joe Burrow and the Bengals, Zach Taylor, they got a lot of things going on with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, but I still think they get it done. And I saw both of them pop up questionable on the injury report, but I'm not worried about it. I think they still can beat them. Yeah. So Bengals over Pats. I'm going 2-0 for that one. You can go to your next team, brother.
And my last one, I think I had Jets and 49ers, so that's still gonna be the Monday Night Football game. And look, in my notes before, I had San Francisco winning that game, and of course, why wouldn't I? But as I thought about it, and I'm a little competitive, I feel like everybody and their mama going to pick the 49ers to win that game. So you know what? I'm going to go with old discount double check Aaron Rodgers in his first game back since the Achilles pop, where he only played 4 snaps in his New York Jets debut. I think he's going to get it done. I mean, the 49ers have historically had his number, but at the same time, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league still at his age. And I just think there's going to be plays that he can make. The 49ers are still going to be without Drake Greenlaw because he got injured in the Super Bowl. And we saw when he went down the effect it had on that defense.
Definitely changed the game.
Yep. And they changed the defensive coordinator. So they got a new defensive coordinator in there now as well. So I'm looking forward to see how they transition. But you don't want to be transitioning versus a quarterback with the resume and the skill set of an Aaron Rodgers. And I think the Jets have a point to prove. I think they want to come out and show that this is going to be a new season, not only for the guys in the locker room, but I think for the fan base that's been starving. Just be happy. Just be okay. I don't think they're saying they got to make the playoffs or win a Super Bowl. They just want to feel like they're a relevant organization again. And when you're in the Big Apple, of course you want that. So that's my upset. That's my NFL game day lock on Monday night. So it's gonna be interesting on Wednesday to see if I can gloat a little bit, or I can just say, you know what, everybody picked San Francisco to win, man. I was just trying to be.
Or you can just say, hey, it's week 1. That's the that's the default answer right now. It's just week 1. I got you, baby.
If Aaron Rodgers finishes the game, I think that's a win. I think any Jets fan would agree. So after what happened last season, so
I would be happy to see Aaron Rodgers. I would like to see Aaron Rodgers for the game and be on the field. I kind of miss all our OG quarterbacks are kind of gone. Breeze, Manning, Brady, Big Ben, Eli. That was kind of like the era I grew up on with quarterbacks. So Aaron is kind of the last one there. Hopefully, he can stay healthy. Still put up some numbers back because I love to see it. But let's get to my next pick. I'm not going to go to the pick that I want to go to because I know what you're going to say.
Okay.
But I'm going to go to the Browns over the Cowboys. But you don't know the other pick I got. It's easy like the other ones.
Okay.
But if somebody sees this as an upset, Browns over the Cowboys. Now, I did say this earlier this week. Jameis, I don't know what Deshaun Watson we're going to get this season. We haven't seen Houston Deshaun Watson since Houston. And that's a long time ago. So hopefully Deshaun Watson can get back to that quarterback he is because I love seeing excited, explosive players. And just with him getting back to form, that'll just be another great quarterback in the AFC that has to compete with Lamar the same division and Joe Burrow. So I'm thinking Deshaun Watson gets back to form in this game against the Cowboys. That's the only way I can see them winning, even though they have a feisty defense. Dallas,
but they got some injuries in the secondary. It's Trayvon Diggs' first game back, and it's Amari Cooper. Revenge game. Probably gonna put on a route running clinic.
They missing Bland. I'm looking forward to seeing the Denzel Ward CD matchup. And I think this game is a toss up. I know Dallas. I think Dallas might be favored, but I think this game can be a toss up. The only reason you will pick against the Browns is their quarterback play, which is a big deal. But I'm under the impression that Deshaun Watson will get back to his form.
Okay.
And my last one.
What's your next cupcake?
Chargers over Raiders.
Oh man, you know what? I hope Coach Pierce prove you wrong just today.
Hey, bro, this is not a cupcake. First, head coach back for the first year with a new quarterback. Both receivers go for the Raiders, so this is not a cupcake game. And we know the Chargers cannot stay healthy.
True.
Injuries been killing them the last couple of years. Oh Lord, she jabbing on here. But like I said, I'm expecting Jim Harbaugh to come from Michigan and implement a backbone for the Chargers. They lose so many bad games in bad ways. Sometimes we always just be like, that's the Chargers way. When Anthony Lynn, the other coach going for it on fourth down, Brandon Staley. So I'm looking for him to have some stability with Jim Harbaugh.
No, man. I mean, I like that pick. I've been messing with you, but that's a really good pick. And again, I mean, we were just kind of talking about this pre-show. Those divisional matchups, man. We think that on paper this team gonna watch this team, but when we see this team twice a year and we want to get first dibs or drawing first blood and saying we one up on them, like the Raiders gonna come out fighting too. Like I don't think it's gonna be a walk in the park in divisional games. Never are, to be quite honest. So it's a good matchup. I mean, it's a good year for Justin Herbert. Like he got to start proving something
He
because he
definitely
has
does.
he has all the records in his draft class, but doesn't have nearly the amount of success. And while you can blame the coaches and even some of the talent around him, and I think part of that is a good reason. I think there's been moments where the Chargers have said, "Hey, can you win this game for us?" And he hasn't necessarily stepped up to the plate. And so that's when it's starting to become, "Hey, how can I separate you from your peers, especially in your draft class?" That's why Joe Burrow is above everybody in that draft class right now, not just because he was the top overall pick, but because there have been moments where Cincinnati has said, "Hey, Joe, we need you today." And he stepped up more than Justin Herbert or Tua has. So both of those quarterbacks really have to start to cement themselves as guys that can truly be the franchise. They've gotten the money. The organizations have invested a lot around them. Now it's time to just step up or step on. So
Step on. I never heard that. That's a new one.
yeah. You got to get off.
Oh, I'm predicting a 4-0 week for me. Now they always have an upset game. This is not an official pick, but can you see any upsets happening this year? Well, this week.
I had obviously the Jets over the Niners. I can see the Cardinals upsetting the Buffalo Bills. Yeah,
I was
because
going to pick that game,
okay,
but I was
because
cupcake heavy this week.
yeah, I can see that happening. I mean, let me think of some more. I mean, I can see Jags over Miami. I can see. I guess would it be an upset if the Colts beat Houston? I think Houston's been getting a lot of hype, so some people might consider that an upset, but I
Some
don't.
people, but I don't consider
Yeah,
that an
but I
upset.
don't think it'd be an upset, especially if Anthony Richardson is healthy. So, uh, I mean, it's a lot going on. Like, I mean, Broncos could upset Seattle, but as far as a true upset, I would say Arizona over Buffalo. Buffalo's kind of lost a lot. I don't think we know much about their secondary. We're trying to learn a lot more about who the Buffalo Bills will be. We know Josh Allen. That's the one constant. We have no idea who's going to be throwing the ball to. Um, we don't know much about their running game and if they can sustain a running game, or
Josh
does Josh
Allen,
have to be the best? Right, or does Josh have to be the running game again?
yep.
So, come early seasons, Josh is prone to giving the other team the ball as well. So,
We definitely going to see if Josh can carry this load this
mhm,
year. Um, Kind of like Mahomes did last year with his receivers dropping balls. Granted, Mahomes does have Travis Kelsey, one of the greatest tight ends ever, greatest safety blanket. He went 11 for 11 against the Baltimore Ravens in the AFC Championship, so he always can fall on him. But
mhm.
Josh Allen has Dawson Knox, Dalton Kincaid. We'll see how they hold up in a pass game. Keon Coleman,
Yeah, we
see if
gotta see it.
they make an impact, but I don't know. I definitely could see the Cardinals having a surprising year because they're healthy
Mm.
and Kyler Murray's he's due for a year. He
Yeah.
hasn't had one of those good ones in a long time. So hopefully, well, not hopefully, because they're in the NFC. With my safe spot is hopefully I don't, hopefully they lose to the Bills. But
Yeah,
as a
yeah.
fan of the game, I would love to see great quarterback play throughout the league. Um, any closing thoughts you have for the people, brother?
Nah, man. Look, well, one, I actually want to try this out next week. I want y'all send us some games. Just send us some games, about 8 or 10 games that y'all want us to pick from, and we'll divvy them up, and then go from there. Because I just want to see what that looks like. But also want to say, look, if y'all bet on this, that's on y'all. We not promoting that right now. We just giving our expert opinion on who we would rock with. If we had to pick, who would win or lose. But it's gonna be good. I'm glad to have football back. If the season in general, outside of the crazy penalty calls and stuff like that, if it's anything close to what last night was in terms of going down to the wire and you going crazy over teams that you could care less about them. Like, I don't care what Kansas City or Baltimore does in the grand scheme of things, but you would have thought I was a fan for either team just the way they had me on edge. So, man, I'm excited. If that's what we can get on a week-to-week basis, it's going to be a hell of a football season for all 32 fan bases. So buckle up because this is going to be a good one.
The NFL definitely wrote that script great for the opening night.
Like, bro,
It's all jokes, y'all.
You know what was funny, bro? Like, I was thinking, like, because in the press conference, they asked Patrick Mahomes, like, what advice we get? He'd be like, well, white cleats next time. And I'm like, dog, if they play in the AFC Championship game again and they come down to the wire and this dude, well, white cleats, have the same exact situation and he get the touchdown call because he had the white cleats on it and the Ravens go to the Super Bowl, like, I'm really gonna call it NFL raid at that point if that happens.
Man, if this game tonight go down to the wire like that, then I know the writers in the build. Just for the opening week, just for big weeks of the NFL season.
Yeah.
But baby girl ain't gonna be making an appearance on the show in upcoming shows. The show out of act. So this might be her last show, y'all.
No.
But this is Bayou Ballers podcast and Danny podcast, apparently. And y'all have a good weekend. And I forgot to tell y'all, next week, Trey, I don't know if you're gonna do the show alone because next week I will be on a cruise, y'all. And y'all know the cruise. Y'all know the cruise service is bad. I bought the Wi-Fi package, but still, it's bad. I never been on a cruise, but I heard it's bad.
Yeah.
So Trey might update y'all on the game day picks. I can see the stuff. I'll add you as a guest so you can load it up all by yourself and do your thing. I will be watching from the cruise if I could. But yeah, y'all. Virgo season, both our birthdays next week, right?
Yeah. Well, technically, not because mine on the 16th. So technically, mine in a couple weeks.
Yeah, the weekend after mine. So mine is that Saturday. Yours that Monday. Right after the Cowboys game. So y'all know we be taking on the Cowboys as Saints fans. But y'all have a good weekend. College football tomorrow, man. NFL Sunday. Thank y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe.
Peace.